Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me once again on my drive to work here. You can tell that it is now construction season in Minnesota. We have two seasons, winter and construction. I know it's an old, stupid joke, but it's kind of true. In any case, I wanted to tell you another hospital story today. This one's probably pretty short, but to kind of set the stage for you a little bit, the hospital that I work at has what we call a behavioral health suite. This is a locked portion of the emergency department. It's comprised of a handful of patient rooms, kind of a hallway that joins all the patient rooms together, and then an observation room where the staff can sit and both look through windows as well as observe patients on camera, for their own safety, for the safety of everyone else. And we had on this particular day a regular. And if you're not familiar with the term regular, every emergency department has regulars. If you know someone that works in a hospital, ask them about the regulars. They'll probably have stories for you. Oftentimes, these are homeless people. Oftentimes, these are drug addicted people. Um, in this particular case, I don't know that this patient was homeless, but she's certainly drug addicted. She's a meth user, so she often comes in very paranoid, very active, kind of almost manic. And I will tell you, she does not like me, specifically me. I don't know why, probably because I don't put up with people's crap, but I'm never rude. I'm never, you know, aggressive, but if you're going to do stupid things, I'm not going to let you do stupid things. So on this particular day, there was also a male in this area, and the two of them kind of hit it off. So all the patients are allowed in this hallway. This hallway is also secure. You can't just leave the hallway, but you're allowed out of your room. You're allowed to be in the hallway. You can walk the hall. You can even talk to other patients as long as you're being appropriate. Well, these two were not being appropriate, and I'll let you imagine what that might look like. Um, but obviously, we're not going to allow that type of activity to go on in a hospital. So I and another officer and some clinical staff went out into the hallway. We separated these patients. Hey, sorry, you're not being appropriate. We need you both to go back to your rooms and just hang out there. For most people, that would have been like, oh yeah, okay, fine. Not a big deal. But of course, actually, even for the male, he did what he was asked to do. He wasn't happy about it, but he did. But for the female, she was less excited about doing as she was told. So she was very verbal initially, but the male went back to his room. She was still out in the hall, but you know what? Fine, they're separated. So we all went back into the staff area and continued observing. And so upset was this woman that she went back into her patient room. And even though these are very stripped down rooms, because they need to be ligature resistant, so there's not a lot of stuff in there that can be used to harm yourself. There's not a lot of stuff in there that you could break. Well, she found like the one thing in there that you can break, which is this like electromechanical soap dispenser where you put your hand under it and it gives you a little bit of soap. Well, she tore that thing right off the wall and smashed it to pieces. And so, of course, we immediately go in there. Hey, what are you doing? You're damaging property. That's illegal. You can't do that. And unfortunately, at that point, she'd already like broken the soap dispenser to the point where all of the components were just kind of out all over the counter and all over the floor. And these particular soap dispensers take 4 D-cell batteries. So that's exactly what she had in her hands. She had D-cell batteries. and she did one of these. And if you know anything about batteries, those things, I mean, they're not the heaviest things in the world, but if you get beamed in the face with one of those things, you're going to have a bad day. And so it was me, it was another officer. I immediately pulled my taser because I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. I'm not taking a battery in the face. My partner's not taking a battery in the face. We're not going to play this game. You know, take the safety off. Immediately, the light and the laser come on. And I think it was at that point she realized, oh, this guy's actually serious. He's gonna tase me if I try to hurt him. Maybe I won't do that. Smart decision. So she dropped the batteries on the floor. I collected the batteries. By that point, a bunch of more clinical staff had come out into the hall. The patient's nurse had decided that based on her aggressive actions, she needed to be restrained, which is not a decision that I can make. It's only a decision that an RN or someone above an RN can make. So, but as far as I'm concerned, as soon as the RN says this patient needs to be restrained, my job is now to restrain that patient. So, I um, immediately took physical control of the patient, and with her little weak fist, she just like pops me right in the chest. It's like it didn't hurt, but it's like, what are you doing, man? Now you've gone from destruction of property, which is something that honestly the cops wouldn't even charge, to now you've assaulted me. Not only is that going to be a lot of more paperwork for me, now you got to go to jail. Don't do that. And so we restrained the patient. I called the police. She went to jail because in that area, everything's on camera. So it's not as though you can just deny and say, I didn't hit him. And if it was just a he said, she said, where there's no marks on me because she's very small and she didn't hurt me, well, it's on video. So there's no denying it, right? It's one of those things it's just frustrating. It's just unnecessary. Just don't break stuff and don't hit people. But, that's one of the issues with drug use is your ability to make rational decisions goes right out the window. So don't do drugs, kids. Don't do meth. It's bad for you. And you might end up punching someone for no good reason. Anyway, thanks for listening to my story. If you would, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.